What's up, dorks? The season finale of Obi-Wan is now on Disney Plus. We have Reva stepping straight to Tatooine directly after episode 5, and Obi-Wan and Darth Vader finally have that awesome rematch. We can't wait to get into it with you. But before we do, make sure you subscribe to join that 1,000 subscriber giveaway. Do you think this show, at the end of the day, was worth making or worth watching?
Anything Star Wars related is going to make a bajillion dollars. So always worth making, worth watching. I think now, as it's currently all released, yes, not too busy on a Sunday. Maybe just want to check something out. Was I disappointed in? Was I let down a little bit by it? Yes. I find myself asking, why do we need 6 episodes of this? It felt very shallow to me.
I think Obi-Wan would have really benefited from just being a movie, releasing all the episodes all at once in a very binge-worthy episodic adventure. I think the way they drawed out the story to try to make it seem a lot more important than it was, this could have just been a 2-hour long Obi-Wan's in the trenches, and then eventually he fights Darth Vader at the end. We all get that great payoff. Instead of stretching it out 6 episodes and like milking us for every single view and cent that we're worth, like Rogue One. Say what you want about Rogue One. Everyone always talks about how great that Darth Vader scene is, and I think coming away from this show, everyone's going to say the best part of the show is Darth Vader.
We have episode 1, episode 5 and 6, 2 through 4. Not really needed, in my opinion.
It seems like they wanted to make an Inquisitor show and also incorporate that with Obi-Wan. Project Darth Vader Inquisitors Obi-Wan, like how could it fail? They didn't know where to go in what direction. It almost seemed like they were trying to set things up in a way where they're like, well, Reva's going to get her own show, you're going to get an Inquisitor show, whatever show we want, we can make it happen based on this because we've introduced it to you through Obi-Wan. Pulling away from the show, does Darth Vader just not know Obi-Wan's still on Tatooine? The Lola droid with Leia is back on Alderaan, which maybe that's how Darth Vader gets to Alderaan down the road and blows it up with the Death Star, but it just seems very coincidental that out of everything, there's not a documented case that the Inquisitors were on Tatooine, and then by correlation, Obi-Wan comes out of hiding and things start happening. If I were Vader, I feel like I would put those things together.
And when you look at the best moments of the show directly involving Obi-Wan and Darth Vader, and then we just sprinkle in as little of that as possible, especially through the median episodes, I don't know. I feel teased a little bit.
They wanted to bring so many things from the Clone Wars and the animated shows. And I think if Mandalorian and Boba Fett hasn't caught your attention at this point, I think they knew that Obi-Wan and Darth Vader would get your attention. Now, the Grand Inquisitor, like if you don't know who that is, you kind of know who that is now. That's a big deal. Like I think this show was, if anything, just trying to get people back into Star Wars in a way. Maybe they had lost them with maybe Solo and the Rise of Skywalker, but in the process, still showing why Disney taking over Star Wars is such a big problem for the fans because it just feels cheap. Did Obi-Wan actually get a resolution other than the final part where Obi-Wan is fighting Darth Vader and he gets that like, well, you didn't actually kill me, Obi-Wan. I killed Anakin Skywalker. And that realization on Obi-Wan and kind of that like relief of guilt, I guess, in a way, you could have made it a movie. Episode 1, 5, and 6, you combine that and condense it down to where it's one action-packed 2-hour-long movie, it would have been out of this world.
I love the idea of a movie in which Obi-Wan undergoes such a massive effort and not everybody knows about it. And it's not this big thing that will have ripple effects on Luke and Leia. I really enjoy that because to me it plays into what I like about Obi-Wan, the mystique around Obi-Wan as a character, where it's like, oh man, this guy's been through so much shit that we don't know about. There's just so many layers to him and his experiences.
The only reason that I somewhat believe in the emotional weight of what Obi-Wan is doing is because Ian McGregor is such a goddamn beast.
Everybody who acted in this did phenomenal, by the way.
Even Hayden Christensen when you get the mask reveal going with Hayden's voice and also James Earl Jones' voice, I think it was just cool to see him have that moment. I almost wish we got a little bit more of it like it happened earlier in the fight, and you would have got to see a little more personal Vader fight reaction. If that fight should have done anything other than look cool, which it does, it's the best scene
100%.
in the entire show.
100%, yeah, by far.
Entire show, it's almost valid to say that show is worth it just for that scene. But it also, it did give me a little extra weight going into A New Hope, I guess, where when they do fight again, I was once the learner, I am the master now. Vader just showing that he has progressed and become this better skilled Sith Lord, while Obi-Wan's older and maybe not able to take as many of those awesome blows. But I mean, there's stuff happening in this fight scene where I'm like, why wasn't this happening in Revenge of the Sith? What was happening? At least Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru is willing to go all hands on deck when freaking Reva rolls up.
Owen has been about it from the first episode when Reva's like, "I'll kill your whole family," and he has last crazy eat a dick. Fucking Reva, man. Can we talk about that scene? Obviously, Reva can't kill Luke for obvious continuity reasons. But goddamn, it's so fucking boring for her to be like, "Oh no, I would just be the same as Anakin, who's such a bad person." I'm so fucking sick of that. Even if she turns good, can we do it a different way? This buzzer beater change of heart is such a fucking Star Wars thing. I'm bored of it. And for people who are so dark and so evil, they don't really stand on their principles a lot, dog. Most of them fold when it's crunch time. I want someone to double down, goddammit.
I don't think the bad guy becoming a good guy should be the one that Star Wars relies on, because I also think that takes away from what was so special about Vader in Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
His switch to the light side and seeing that confrontation within him is what makes that so big. So seeing multiple Sith
Yeah.
have that same progress, I guess, with character development just totally takes away from how badass Vader was there.
I think also like the notion of killing Luke was kind of like a weak premise within itself because we simply know that there's no stakes there. We know it's not happening.
You have to think from a whole show timestamp. What is this, like the course of 1 or 2 days? In that time, Reva meets Leia and Luke, both children of Anakin, not realizing they're children of Anakin. And that conversation with Leia, and then watching Luke be helpless, combining that with a little bit of Obi-Wan, and that's really what turns Reva. You gave her the Darth Vader arc. Inserted in children instead of their actual characters, making Leia and Luke heroes of their own story before the actual heroes of their own story.
It took you
I
less than a week to fold.
You've had a whole lifetime plan of hunting down Darth Vader, Anakin Skywalker, Darth Vader, and in 1 week you tried to fight Vader. He got some force food done on you, and
Wild.
then you met Leia and you met Luke and Obi-Wan. They told you, you know what, dog, you probably ain't cut out for this. All right, and Grand Inquisitor, you tried to kill him, he even came back on. You can't even kill somebody, dog. And Reva show greenlit on Disney Plus. I hope not. Didn't think the character was bad,
Mm.
but if this is the origin of the character, and you're telling me that Leia and Luke and all this extra continuity is being added in to make things in A New Hope and the rest of the Star Wars old trilogy less impactful,
Mhm.
I don't think Reva was a good character to incorporate in something so precious as Kenobi. And people will only be talking about the Darth Vader scenes. We're talking like force ground smashes, like giant pillars are flying.
Yeah.
Even Vader has that one-off line for a second where he's like, "Hey, you got your power back," quote unquote. It's like, hey, it was always here, dog. I've just been a pussy, and now I'm not.
Yeah.
If anything, Vader in this moment, even if he couldn't fight Obi-Wan, I think for like pure anger wise, he would have fucking crushed. But then you also get Emperor at the end, like, it looks like you might be a little soft for your boy Obi-Wan. So it's like, did Vader let him get away, or what was going on there? I think another bit of fan service that was at least a little more deserving was you finally got that Qui-Gon Jinn Force Ghost reveal with Obi-Wan.
I think he doesn't need Qui-Gon now.
Yeah,
Force Ghosts love to show up after the fucking fact, dog.
I guess he teaches Obi-Wan eventually how to turn into a Force Ghost, and maybe
Mhm.
Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan. Maybe Obi-Wan's not so lonely on Tatooine as we thought, man. He's just chilling with his old master, hanging out all the time.
I definitely thought that was more fan service because everyone's like Qui-Gon, Qui-Gon. There, that was to me. That was more of like a look. There he is kind of situation.
Last meme of the show, by the way. What'd you think of the hello there with Luke?
I feel like all of this is going to be fan service at this point.
So going into grading the entire show, the finale was pretty good. Overall, I think this show doesn't hit the mark in a lot of ways, and I don't understand why they would sacrifice so much of the story element to try to satisfy these fan services for us when you could have really just made it one awesome movie and it probably wouldn't have benefited and made the fans a lot more happy. I'd say it's an average show. That's okay. But I think there's also a certain level of like every show could potentially be someone's entry point into this. And so you have to keep that in mind with these
Mhm.
giant long running shows. But for people that haven't watched all of Clone Wars, all of Rebels, all the other Star Wars mediums and entries with like books, and just know that Obi-Wan and Darth Vader are always destined to pretty much do this battle.
Mandalorian aside, I think that this show suffers from what every entry from Star Wars will suffer, which is how do you follow up or add on to arguably the greatest trilogy of all time, and without question, something that changed the landscape of film forever.
If you want to hear what we have to say about The Boys, or you want to see any of our other reviews like Thor Love and Thunder coming out soon, make sure you subscribe to the channel, and you could also win that next gen console in the 1000 subscriber giveaway. Please let us know what you thought of Obi-Wan Kenobi as the show. Do you think it's worth watching? And if there's anything you'd like us to review or you want to just hear us talk about, leave it in the comment section below. We'd love to hear what you think. And until the next time, guys, peace.